Howdy everyone, it's your buddy BP, and I'm here today to talk to you about the QUEENBREAKER'S bow. QUEENBREAKER'S bow is an exotic fusion rifle that was introduced to Destiny in the House of Wolves expansion pack. The weapon is unique in how it is not just a fusion rifle, but it's a fusion sniper rifle hybrid type weapon. It's truly exotic in the sense that there is nothing quite like it in Destiny. In Year 1, the only way to get this weapon was to get it through an Elder Cipher, which was a random reward for defeating the level 35 Prison of Elders. In Year 2, they completely got rid of the Elder Cipher, and now the only way to get this weapon is through a Legacy engram for special weapons. Because the QUEENBREAKER'S bow is stuck in Year 1, it's seldom seen in both PvE and PvP. Though it makes sense it's not in PvE, I still think it's worth consideration in PvP, at least for Crucible related stuff. With that said, I want to talk to you a little bit more about this weapon for anyone out there who might be considering buying a Legacy engram just for a chance to get this thing. Let's take a closer look at the QUEENBREAKER'S bow. The scope on the bow is actually two scopes in one. First are the marksman sights, which has a deeper zoom than the other scope. It also increases the impact at the expense of charge rate and reload speed. Second are the combat sights, which have a shallower zoom. It also maximizes the weapon's charge rate and reload speed at the expense of impact. I would suggest trying out both scopes just to get a feel as to which one best suits your playstyle. Personally, I prefer the lower zoom scope because I like having the faster charge rate, but in the end it's up to you to decide which one is best for you. The only place you'll notice a difference is when you're using your defender to use weapons of light to turn this weapon into a one-hit kill on the body, which it can do. If you're going to use the lower zoom scope with the lower impact, you're going to need to run the illuminated perk, so that way you can boost your weapons of light gain up to 35%. That way you can compensate for the lack of impact. Otherwise, if you're going to use the other scope, you won't need to use it. The bow's next perk is hip fire, which increases the weapon's accuracy when firing from the hip. One of the things that makes the bow unique is that you can realistically hit other guardians with it while firing from the hip. Normally with other sniper rifles, there is absolutely no accuracy for hip fire. You can't do the whole Call of Duty thing and no-scope people in Destiny. It's just not one of those things you can realistically pull off. No-scoping Guardians with this thing is realistic, but it's not the kind of thing I would suggest for everyone. It's kind of one of those things that you can only pull off once you really get a handle for the weapon. So for most inexperienced people who are using this weapon, I would suggest you try aiming down the sights with your kills before you attempt going around no-scoping people. And if you're going to do it, try it at closer ranges. Also, do note that when you aim down the sights of this weapon, there is sniper glint. So yes, if you're aiming at another opponent, they will see it. The bow's next set of optional perks include single point sling, which allows you to switch weapons faster and move faster while aiming, flared magwell, which will increase the weapon's reload speed, and send it, which will increase the range and accuracy. This version of send it will also make the weapon a little harder to handle and will decrease the ammo capacity. You can ignore flared magwell because personally I think the base reload speed on the QUEENBREAKER'S bow is already fine as it is, so you don't really need to supplement it. Single point sling is actually really good for this weapon. It'll make you a little harder to hit when you're going toe-to-toe with other snipers. Also, being able to switch weapons quicker is nice, because if you hit them with a body shot, you can just quickly switch over to your auto rifle or your hand cannon or whatever, and then just pick them off real quick. So yeah, single point sling is really nice. Send it ain't too bad either if you're looking to maximize the accuracy for this weapon. Something you need to know about the QUEENBREAKER'S bow is that it's very, very generous with the ammo. Each ammo crate will award you somewhere in the neighborhood of 18 shots. 18 shots for this weapon. Normally for a sniper rifle you only get 4, 5, maybe 6, but this thing gives you 18 shots. If you have an armor that increases your fusion rifle capacity, you can get as many as 22. You can realistically run this thing as your primary simply because you will always have ammo for it. The final perk is Hidden Hand, which will increase the weapon's target acquisition. This will make hitboxes on opponents a little bit larger, and it will give the weapon a little bit of a pull whenever you're following opponents. This thing sometimes works to the weapon's advantage and sometimes to the disadvantage. It definitely makes hitting guardians a little easier. However, if you're aiming at one guardian and a second opponent runs through your line of fire, sometimes the Hidden Hand perk will pull to the direction of that other guardian and cause you to miss your shot, so it can be a little annoying. Don't think for a second, however, that this combination of high target acquisition and hidden hand is going to turn this thing into an easy kill gun. If you're going toe-to-toe with another sniper, odds are that sniper is going to outgun you because their weapon, it doesn't have a charge rate. Also, the Queenbreaker's bow, its shots have a little bit of travel time, so if you're aiming at a Guardian that's moving back and forth really quickly to the left and right, then you'll find yourself missing shots often because your enemy will be outpacing your bullets. Aesthetically speaking, the Queenbreaker's bow is a Vandal wire rifle. Seriously, it's a carbon copy of the wire rifle that the Vandals used. It looks the same, it fires the same, it makes the same noises. It is that weapon. So if you always want to try one of those Vandal sniper rifles out for yourself, the Queenbreaker's bow is what you're looking for. It can be real delightful to pick off other Guardians with this thing. You know how annoying it is when a Vandal kills you with a wire rifle in PvE? Well, now imagine a Guardian doing it to you in the Crucible. A Guardian that will likely teabag you and dance on your corpse after landing a kill with this thing. Yeah, it's that obnoxious. One of the things that make the Queenbreaker's bow interesting is that it has its own unique icon when you kill an opponent with it. Normally when another Guardian kills you in PvP, you get a little icon on the top right corner of the screen which indicates what kind of weapon it is. Well, the Queenbreaker's bow doesn't get a fusion rifle icon or a sniper rifle icon. It has its own unique icon. So whenever you kill a Year 2 scrub, they're all confused like, what the hell is this weird weapon that I just got killed with? One thing that makes the Queenbreaker's bow really fun is how original it is. Whenever you go into a Crucible match with this thing, you can pretty much guarantee that no one else will run it. Often when I was running this thing in PvP, sometimes Guardians would stop and just gawk at the weapon I was using because they had never seen it before or they just hadn't seen it used in a really long time. In fact, when I was recording footage for this video, I got a message from one of my opponents giving me props for having used the weapon in PvP. So yeah, Queenbreaker's bow. It won't make you the best sniper in the lobby, but it'll definitely make you the coolest. In summary, Queenbreaker's bow is a weapon that is just as much fun to use as it is frustrating. It's really annoying getting outgunned by other snipers because of the travel time for the bullets, as well as the charge rate, and yet it's so satisfying to use. It's unique, it gives you bonus ammo, it's rewarding and challenging to use, and you're guaranteed to turn heads whenever you run it in a PvP match. If you're feeling a little bored with the current Destiny meta for PvP and you're looking for a weapon that's truly exotic, that will really make you think outside of the box as to how to play the game, then you absolutely must try the Queenbreaker's bow. And that just about does it for this video. What are your opinions on the Queenbreaker's bow? Do you still think it's good for Year 2? Let me know in the comment section. Also, don't forget to spank that like button if you enjoyed the video or you found it helpful in any way. Your support means a lot to me. And as always, y'all be good to each other, and I will see you in the next video.